Hey everybody. So, with my new work area, I needed to have a better thing to work on. I've got I think it's called a Pegasus workbench that I'll show people later on. I think that I may have shown people that before. But I did need to have something that was pretty much a flat surface, hopefully with peg holes and stuff like that, that I could do some basic woodworking on. Nothing fancy, but something. I'd been hunting around. I had looked at Rockler. They've got a couple of options. And then obviously Home Depot and that sort of stuff. They've got some really basic tables and stuff like that. But then I found out that Harbor Freight actually has a woodworking bench. So this is their image of it. It is Windsor design, this workbench here. So from everything I've heard, it's a basic woodworking bench, just something simple to get you started. But if you are in the market for that type of thing, it seems like a really good option. So you can see here, made in China. So from what I can tell so far, it's just like basic, just simple things. Some of the stuff appears to be pressboard and stuff like that. But I'm going to be putting this together and hopefully it's going to do the trick. And for the cost, it is an amazing deal. You can find them for about $160, $170. And most other wood benches woodworking workbenches, you're going to be starting out at like $400 to $500. So like they always say, get the most basic thing until you use it so much that you need to get something nicer. So I'm going to be setting this up and I'll let you guys know what it's like. So I've gotten the workbench unpacked. I kind of checked out all of the pieces because I wanted to see if there was anything noticeably wrong or anything like that. I had heard from some other folks that occasionally there would be damaged parts. Sometimes the runners for the drawers, there might be issues with that. So I'm going to be looking out for that. And another thing as well is that it does have these straps on these on here. It says do not lift with those. So that means that if you can, you really want a team lift. So if you're getting one of these, I'd recommend having two people so that you can carry it without using these. When I was moving this around, I kind of grabbed it by those a little bit because I got stuck in a tricky place. And most of the stuff is fine, but this has a little bit of damage to the corner here. So you'll see that. And that was most likely because of me grabbing it by the straps. So just worth to note that if you can, definitely try and have two people to move this around, get it to where you need to, so that you can start building it and putting it together. So I did want to mention something that I just noticed here. So there were some people that had mentioned that the hardware was loose in their box. So when I got this, it was on this backer and these were wrapped up. Some of the items here had kind of fallen out of place, but this does have a little bit of adhesive on it. So it looks like it's intended to make those stick so that you actually get context about what these different elements of hardware are. So there's a chance that these items might be loose, but it does look like if they are properly packaged, then they actually have identifying marks and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So I've done a quick scan through the manual, and I did want to point something out for any people that get a little bit too eager when they're putting this together. So one of the things that you'll notice, it's got safety information and that sort of stuff up at the top, and then it starts to give you the instructions right here. If you jump to the very back, then that's where you're going to find information about how it should look, as well as information about what the different parts are. So you might want to just note that you'll be referencing the back there for the assembly diagram and details about the parts. So right now I'm at the beginning of putting this together. I'm going through a little bit of the instructions. So right now I'm doing the cross brace. So it's having me do the connecting nuts. And I did want to call out something. Looks like these are resealable bags. Small thing, but that makes it super handy when you're actually building something out. Makes it less likely for things to get lost. Okay, so this is fairly simple so far. So back cross brace has been attached. So you'll notice it goes like this. I did check the one to make sure that it had the label. So that's facing backwards. Hopefully that's in the right direction. So now the shelf is supposed to go in, and then followed by the other cross brace.